Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe vom SI-Talk und heute muss ich schon fast mit Wehmut sagen, wird es möglicherweise das letzte Interview sein mit Dennis Higgs in seiner Funktion bei Uranerz. Denn das Unternehmen hat ja vor ein paar Tagen, also Anfang Jänner, bekannt gegeben, dass sie mit Energy Fuels fusioniert. Und ja, ich bin jetzt also sozusagen da, um vielleicht ein letztes Interview in seiner Funktion, also in dieser Funktion zu machen. Dennis, thank you to have time. I told this in my German introduction, maybe this is the last interview what we are doing under the role of Uranerz.
Possibly.
And we walked together the road really long from the beginning. I was part of the first private placement and go all through, and we have good times with a share price over $7.
Yes.
Long time ago, and now you make a deal with Energy Fuels, and maybe you can explain a little bit the reason why you should do this deal with Energy Fuels, and what is maybe the strength of the both companies together.
Sure. So Energy Fuels is a conventional miner of uranium in the United States. And Uranerz, of course, we have our ISR production facility, Nichols Ranch, up and operating in the Powder River Basin of Wyoming. So combined makes us a very strong company. We will have the largest resource base in the U.S. We will have 2 production centers producing both ISR method of uranium and conventional. We will have a very strong working capital position. We will have scalability so that when the uranium price improves, which we all believe it will going forward, it'll give us better ability to negotiate with utilities. We expect to be the largest U.S.-focused uranium producer in America. So for all these various reasons, it makes us a stronger company. And it gives us survivability in what is currently a tough uranium market. So we have very large contracts for this year, for example, almost 1 million pounds, average price of about a little bit over $58 a pound. So for all these various reasons, it's a good transaction for Uranerz and a good transaction for Energy Fuels.
Okay. So this means you go the next step that you can take advantage of, hopefully, the stronger uranium price.
Yes, and it gives us great scalability. We can ramp up aggressively to be between the 2 companies. Uranerz is licensed, for example, for 2 million pounds a year production. Energy Fuels is licensed for 8 million pounds a year. As a combined entity, we would have a license capacity of 10 million pounds per annum. So scalability, being able to rapidly increase production, a strong working capital position. The combined entity will have, right now, has about 800,000 pounds of uranium in the can, ready to make deliveries. So it just makes a very, very strong company.
I was a little bit surprised was that when you look at the deal and you get for each for 0.255 Uranerz shares, you get for
the other way,
you get for 1 Uranerz shares 0.255 Energy Fuels Aktien.
Yes.
So. And when you read this press release, it's come down that in the end, the combination of the both companies, that Uranerz has a bigger stake from the shareholder base than Energy Fuels. But when you look at then the operating business from the directors and so on, you bring only 3 directors on the board. So this was for me a little bit interesting, and you are only 3 independent directors, but you don't take a role as a CEO, chairman, or something like this.
Actually, there's been discussions that I might go on as a senior officer of the company, the merged entity, once it's all done. Okay. So we haven't finalized those discussions at this point. But you are correct. The shareholders of Uranerz will end up with about 55% of the merged company. But management of Energy Fuels is the management of the ongoing business once it's merged. Having said that, Paul Goranson, who is Uranerz president and chief operating officer, it is planned that he will manage and oversee all the ISR operations of the merged company. So Management effectively will be Energy Fuels, but shareholders will be Uranerz will be the largest shareholders, if that makes sense. So we're calling it a merger of equals.
Okay. Then especially, I think then the Energy Fuel management has not so much experience in the ISR than your company.
Correct.
And you are one of the two production facility what in the company. So
yes.
So coming back in general to the market, what do you expect from uranium? It's coming down a little bit from this 40s down to mid 30s, but do you see any signs from the Japanese side that more than 2 reactors coming back, and what is with China and what is also with US? US built also some of them. So when you think a new nuclear power plants coming on stream?
Sure. So you've got, in the U.S. specifically, you've got 5 new nuclear facilities under construction. So but that's small in relation to China. China's the largest. It's taking the lead of the new build for nuclear facilities. You have a large number in China under construction. In fact, last time I looked, I think it was 28 or 29 units under construction in China alone. If you consider that the United States is the largest consumer of nuclear power, about 18-19% of the power in the U.S. is nuclear. They've got about 100 nuclear facilities operating. So with China having more than a quarter of that under construction right now, that shows you how rapidly China is planning on building these nuclear facilities. But speaking of Japan, there's been approval for 2 to restart and several others in the queue. So we do expect this year, 2015, for several of these reactors to start up again in Japan. So all of this combined we believe is going to start strengthening the market for uranium. And you mentioned the uranium price. We saw just recently the uranium price went from a very low of $28 a pound. It perked up in the fall of 2014 to about $44 a pound in the spot market, and it settled back to about $34, $35 a pound. And just recently this week, we saw it to start perking back up again. So I think the uranium price will firm up, and you have some people saying, well, it's a couple of years out, you're going to see 2017, 18, you'll see a dramatic change in uranium price, and that may be correct. But in the interim, we expect to see this creeping increase in the uranium price. So I think all of that bodes well for us.
Okay, thank you, Dennis, for the update, and good luck with the merger. Ja, das war wahrscheinlich mein letztes Interview mit Uranerz. Er hat selber ja gesagt, also der Deal mit Energy Fuels bringt die Firma in die Position, dass sie jederzeit auf den Markt reagieren kann. Die Fusion findet so statt, dass für jede Uranerz-Aktie 0,255 Energy Fuel Aktien bekommt. Sie können in Summe, und das war für mich neu, dann haben sie lizenziert 10 Millionen Pfund, was sie produzieren können. Natürlich wird jetzt nicht so viel produziert, aber sie können die Produktion dann relativ schnell hochfahren, weil sie eben schon lizenziert dazu sind, sollte der Uranpreis dementsprechend ansteigen. Es gibt Gründe, warum der Uranpreis ansteigen kann. Reaktor in Japan, die hochgefahren werden, 5 Reaktoren werden in den USA gebaut und 26 oder 27 momentan in China. Und das ist nicht das Ende der Fahnenstange. Und von daher sind sie gut vorbereitet am nächsten Zyklus. Es gibt Studien, hat er auch noch gesagt, die sagen, dass 2017, 2018 erst der Uranpreis massiv ansteigen wird, aber er geht davon aus, dass diese Wellen, noch, was jetzt momentan sind, die jetzt wieder zum Glück nach oben gehen, auch in der nächsten Zeit anhalten werden. Ja, das war's von Vancouver aus, und ja, viel Erfolg und viel Spaß bei Ihrem Investment. Tschüss. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Joe.